Guys,
Hey.
oh my God, I love this movie. I love the Army of the Dead franchise, but I love Army of Thieves too. This is amazing. Matthias, first of all, I gotta say, this is a great heist movie, but it also is a great genre-bending prequel. Dieter has a real shared voice throughout both films, Army of Thieves and Army of the Dead. Can you talk about maintaining the consistency of the character and making this your own?
Oh yeah, because we were building this fantastic foundation in Army of the Dead with, like all these little character moments, like the crazy scream and these question and this nerdy stuff. So it was so cool when Zack and Shay came up with that idea, with the origin story, and it was so cool to show people, okay, wow, that's why where that's coming from, and even he was screaming even more crazier in this film than in so man, I love Dieter and I love this guy too, so it's his innocence is cool and it's good to have him back.
Absolutely. Zack, first of all, I got to thank you for the Army of the Dead and this film. I absolutely love this franchise. How early on in shooting Army of the Dead, or even late in shooting Army of the Dead, did you know that you wanted to focus on Dieter for his own prequel spinoff?
Yeah, it was pretty early on. It was actually the first scene we shot with Matthias was him explaining the Götterdämmerung and explaining the safes and everything. So it was pretty much after that scene that I was like, this is the movie. This is it. Like what he just said is the movie. And we went at it, working on it. And then before we left, about halfway through the movie, when we left to go to New Jersey to shoot at Atlantic City, he and I sat down for a coffee and I said, what about directing this and starring in this Dieter prequel? And he was like, are you serious? Like, is that real? Is that a thing? And I was like, absolutely. And so, he seemed
so brilliant. It's so good. Now, I got to ask, Matthias, because not only is this a great heist movie, it has tremendous action, but it's hilarious. And I read that you researched and watched a bit of Pixar in order to hit some of the comedy beats. Can you talk about that a little bit?
When I was starting with acting, I always focused on what animation can show you is always in acting, find really the right timing and the point where you sell a joke. And even if you can't do it with editing, do it with acting. So you have to do it with acting while acting so I focused on Pixar because I always wanted to do an animated movie, but acted it while acting it, so because it's a high concept. You have to, it's tools you really need to have to sell a joke, and that's not easy. So I thought, it's great. You can learn so many acting skills from an animated film.
Absolutely. Now, Zack, what inspired the Norse mythology part of Dieter's story? Because I actually thought that part was brilliant. I loved every second of that stuff.
Well, my friend Adam Foreman and I have been talking about for years about oh, do we want to do a ring cycle movie, or something inspired by it. And right now I am doing a Norse mythology animated series at Netflix, and so it was kind of, we were kind of in it every day, and it made sense as a concept.
That's amazing. Now, I know that we're going to be getting Army of the Dead Las Vegas, but are there any plans to revisit any of these characters? Because I fell in love with every single character that we got introduced to in this. I kind of, without giving anything away, I would love to see those characters explored more. So any plans at all to revisit some of these characters?
You know what? You never know. We have a plan right now for a sequel to Army of the Dead. And as you know, none of these guys, really, they're all, I guess, in some prison somewhere, so it would be it wouldn't be a stretch, maybe to see him again at some point.
Absolutely. Now, look, this film is amazing. I can't wait for everyone to see it. I really love this universe you guys created. And like I said, it's a great standalone movie, but it leads you perfectly into Army of the Dead. So congratulations, guys. I really can't wait for everyone to see this. Genre bending at its best. Thank you.